Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Unappreciated, and this time I want to tell you a little bit about of a story. First of all, let me tell you that I didn't get into the Warframe Creator Program. I got this news a couple of weeks back, and I was feeling kind of down because I started the channel, at least I started putting content into the channel because Warframe was such a good game to me. It gave me such good things, and it was kind of a niche game at the time. There was people, of course, there was already people making content, but I said, maybe I'll just share it. A little bit of information, a little bit of fun to, to get a word out. Um, Now Warframe is in a much different position, a much better one, and I thought that maybe, if when they lowered the requirements, I thought, okay, maybe I could get in, but I didn't. You know, they give you that profile letter that says, oh, you have to be more professional, you have to be a bit of community. Professional, you can't really say about professional videos. I think my videos are pretty good. Maybe the sound could be better, but they are what they are in comparison to everyone else. It's midway, I guess. I don't make content to builds, meta builds and something like that. For that, you already have tactical rotating right out squad that are really good at it. They really spend a lot of time with the game. Where I just I play it like a casual, not play it every day. I used to play it every day, but now not so much. But I really wanted my channel to grow. I really wanted to make something useful to the world where I could just be creative and still make a little bit of money out of it. Sadly, it's not working out that well, and the fact that I didn't get into the program was was really hard. I really felt and feel unappreciated. I guess I should be used to it since I play with Limbo a lot. Well, maybe not as lot as I did, but every Limbo main at some point, maybe in the past, maybe not right now, but in the past, felt unappreciated by the community and by other players. I still remember playing with Limbo and people just immediately telling me to get off the squad. Some people disconnected and something like that. I'm a middle-aged white man, and I never felt any type of racism against me. Of course, if I was rich, I would then be really the man. But I can understand a little bit of the sentiment that people that do go through it through life can feel. You just appear and people treat you differently just because you know in this case I was using a frame that they didn't like. They just didn't like. They didn't understand the frame. They'd probably never play with the frame, but there was this consensus that it was a troll frame or a bad frame or something like that. So a bit of a background story. I got Limbo playing. If you get Limbo by doing excavation missions. Now at the time I didn't have a lot of warframes. I had one prime frame, which was Nyx, and it was within Nyx, with CC, that I managed to get Limbo. The mission of excavation on Earth, it was absolutely terrible because Gunir come in straight lines against you, and if you take out the first one, the second one will probably hit the excavator. So it was really complicated to get, and really hard to get the parts for Limbo. And once I got it, I said, well, I don't have a lot of warframes, and I might as well use what I got. I got like Excalibur, Rhino, and maybe Limbo and Nyx. That's what. Those were the first ones I started with. And after playing the game for a couple of times, years and months, I realized I was good. Rhino was good. Excalibur was good. Nyx was doing the same, and I was just melting everybody. I was just killing everybody, doing 30 level missions and survival missions. No, it was a breeze. Back in time, it was in melee that was working. It was really just weapons, and weapons were very OP. They're still OP. I mean, for level 30, you can pretty much build any weapon. I didn't have like the top mods, but I had enough to just melt everything around me, and I started feeling bad for the I mean, it was kind of the thing that doesn't really resonate with a lot of people. But I kind of felt bad for the Corpus and the Grenier and the Infested. I was just killing them left and right. I didn't feel like I was a sheriff. I felt like I was a bully in outer space. I arrived somewhere and I killed everybody and I did a mission and I came back. And I really struggled with that until I realized that, most missions in Warframe, you don't really have to kill anybody. You have to go from A to B. That's what you're supposed to do. Go A to B. I mean, spy missions, rescue missions, even mobile defense and something like that. So I said, okay, what frames do I have that I can use? Now, of course, people with good builds probably use Loki because Loki has his invisibility. But me with the Loki that I had, I didn't know if I even had Loki at the time, which I think I didn't. And I didn't have like a bunch of frames to extend his invisibility. You know, the invisibility, if I could do it, it would be around, I don't know, 10 seconds, something like that. So it wasn't really okay with it. But Limbo could traverse to a different dimension and nobody could touch him. So it was, in a way, it was kind like invisibility. Then I use one of the sentinels, which was, I think, shade, and shade makes you invisible if there's enemies around. So I used that combination, and I started really to use Limbo to really interact with the frame and the missions, and to figure out, okay, where can I stand? What can I do? Do I banish them? Do I use cataclysms and all that? And so I got really good with Limbo, and I can pretty much do any mission that didn't require like a high level of damage to do Warframe. And that's pretty much Warframe. I mean, 80% of Warframe is just CC, you know. It's sure, extermination, survival, and all that you need to kill, and of course assassination. But others you can just do it with Limbo, and so I started getting really good with them. I can finish missions fast. I can even do missions solo, which is something I wasn't really comfortable doing before. So yeah, that was really cool. Still, I got, you know, whenever there was a squad and I wanted to mission with a squad with Limbo, I had to, you know, educate the other players, especially in the United States. In Europe, not so much. But in the European server, people, you know, there's different people, different languages. I don't know if they understand what I was writing, because I was writing all in English. But, you know, there's a kind of this sense of, okay, if we finally got someone to play with us, let's play. But in the United States server, man, people just started, you know, right away being toxic. And I had to educate him. You know, I'm doing Limbo. I'm using Limbo like this. For instance, I remember very clearly one. It was an interception mission against Grenier, and I was just putting them all in banish them all, so that way they were remaining banished and they couldn't interact with the consoles to take away the towers. So I just said to them, you know, I'm using this technique with this Warframe. If I banish you for an accident, you know, just roll. You know, I have to explain them. You can roll out of it and all that. So yeah, that happened, and then he got primed. And when he got primed, he became a god. You know, everybody who was not a Limbo started to try a Limbo, but everybody who was already a Limbo started using him a little bit more. Everybody who was a main, like me, just instantly turned him into a god. You know, he was melting everything. I remember a mission that we were doing where I didn't take Limbo. It was a mission that was one of those by the Design Council that's now extinct, where you had to make a defense mission for, I don't know, an hour or something like that. And on the last wave, we had a bunch of nullifiers always coming, and then one guy with a Limbo was just spamming cataclysm, spamming, and he absolutely destroyed everything on the map. Everything. I was applauding. I was having a blast. People were like, "Oh," but man, I was like, "Oh man, this is so good. It's so good to be a Limbo here." But you know, then again, people were just jealous. They were just jealous that he could do all this damage all at once by himself. And you know, we had Chroma doing this. We had people with Rhino and other combinations of frames, Equinox and something doing this. But suddenly Limbo gets nerfed. It gets a really big nerf. Well, before it was because you know, it accounted how many people were inside Cataclysm and their average health. Now it just counts how many people are inside the Cataclysm, or they lowered the health, the average health, something like that. So you can't do that anymore. And I was really bummed out, you know, because you know, it's a Limbo, and it was in a good place, a real good place, and now it's not that, it's not bad, but it's not as good as it was. And the nerfs just continue on. I mean, Orphex Venom, the last mission we had, we can't use him. Well, we can't use any Warframe. That's cool. That's right. But you know, if he shifts to another dimension, he could at least maybe enter the bubble and do, you know, some kind of assistance, some kind of, I don't know, something, because like I said, the purpose of him is that he's on a different dimension. He's not in our dimension. So, you know, but that happened in Orphex Planet, in the Orb Mother. Even if she's inside Cataclysm, you can't hit her. You can't do any damage to her. You can only, maybe you can use the operator, but you can't use Limbo to, you know, hit it. You can now also It doesn't affect the bigger jackals when you're defending fishers. It stops the little ones, but the big ones doesn't, which doesn't make sense to me. And of course, the Repulus. The Repulus was absolutely the worst, and it was at a time that I just decided, okay, they just don't like Limbo. They just don't like it. I mean, if you take Limbo to the Repulus, you should be able to enter Drift and then do the entire mission just like that. You should be able to do it, but because that would constitute exploit in their eyes, they said, okay, let's have it. So what they did was they basically destroyed one of the characters in the game so they could fit it in that. Instead of designing the mission to not be the way it is, they did it like that. And I was, yeah, man, I was heartbroken. I mean, the last time Limbo really shined was on Scarlet Spear. And it was the last time I really shined as a player playing like I wanted to, like I feel like I want to. So yeah, I haven't played as much Limbo as I did, although my vanilla Limbo still holds third place. It's him, then it's Rhino, and now Loki as token of the place because, you know, it is what it is. They did what it did to them. And, you know, in that sense, and then with the creator program, Warframe is just, you know, there's just this, there's just only one thing I want to say to Warframe.
So, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here! They're gonna need to send in the National Guard or fucking SWAT team, cause I ain't going nowhere!
I hope you enjoyed the video. The footage that you've been seeing all this time is just me doing sorties with just Limbo just as fast as I can because he's that good. He's that good. I'm not gonna give up on Limbo. I'm not gonna give up on Warframe. What do you think? I'm crazy or something? No, man, I love this game too much. I might not play as much, but man, I still love it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a great game, guys.